Well, hello and welcome to Home for the Holidays, a special online musical event for the whole family. This originally was not planned as an online event, but rather as an actual live concert where people could have brought their lawn chairs and spread out in a socially distanced way, COVID safe, of course, to see an actual concert, live music to celebrate the holidays and the release of a new CD. But 2020 being the year that it has been, it didn't disappoint. And so because of a stay-at-home order, here we are today. One thing's for sure, though, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go, take a look at the 5 and 10, glistening once again, with candy canes and silver lanes aglow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door. A pair of hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is the wish of Barney and Ben. A doll that will talk and will go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen. And Mom and Dad and pretty much everyone this year can't wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go, there's a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well. The sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow from up on Mount Baldy. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start, and the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hi, I'll introduce myself. I'm Bill A. Jones. Angela asked me to host this little get-together. And real quick plug for myself. If you want to know more about me or you want to sign up for my email newsletter, go to billajones.com. Sorry, Angela, I had to get that one in. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yes, there are toys in every store, but the prettiest sight you'll see is the holly that will be on your own front door. In spite of COVID and every other thing, sure it's Christmas once more. Well, we have one fabulous show lined up for you. We've got a spoken word artist with something specially cooked up for this. And we have a couple of tunes that come to us from the whole reason for this. Originally, this was going to be a block party to celebrate a new CD release from Angela O'Neill and the Outrageous8. And, well, thanks to the wizardry of one Catherine Hopkins, who's put together a couple of fabulous music videos, we're able to share a couple of those tunes from that album for you today. This first one is inspired by a tune that came out of the 1960s. A guy named Harry Simeon had a chorus, or a chorale, if you will, and he recorded something that actually had been written fairly recently at the time, although it sounds like it's been around for hundreds of years. And it was re-recorded by hundreds of artists since then. Well, it's also given inspiration to arranger Harry Smallenberg, who has whipped up this special concoction for the new CD, Home for the Holidays. Here we go with Funky Drummer Boy. That's Funky Drummer Boy from the new CD, Home for the Holidays. As a matter of fact, it's already getting me into the spirit of the season. Right now, through the modern miracle of Zoom technology, we're able to assemble the entire cast, if you will, of that new album for a little discussion about the making of same. Here we go, as we send you to Angela O'Neill and the Outrageous 8.
There it is. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Angela O'Neill, and we are the Outrageous 8, thanks to Judy being here, but otherwise we're the Outrageous 7. This is our virtual CD release party back in August 31st and September 1st, a Friday and Saturday night. The 8 or 9 or 10 of us got together, 11 of us actually got together, and recorded, thanks to Michael Rosen, in the backyard of our friend Al Timms. Thank you, Al, very much for the use of your backyard. And we came up with a little CD of 14 tunes on there, and Rich and Michael and John Murphy actually recorded it for us, and it sounded quite amazing on that summer night. And we are so proud to have done such a fun album, and especially during the course of a pandemic. The first thing we always start with is the arrangements. Harry Smollenberg and I actually, and the band, have over the course of 2 or 3 years developed this collection of Harry Smollenberg and Rocky Davis as well, Christmas tunes. And I think we just played a video for a Christmas tune called Funky Drummer Boy. Harry, do you remember kind of what your inspiration was for Funky Drummer Boy when you did that arrangement?
I was just, no. Honestly, there is no special inspiration. I was just thinking of the melody and thought, well, hey, let's try it this way. And then once I got started, it sort of gathered its own momentum, and that's how it works with me. It gets started, and it goes under its own momentum, and I try to catch up and get it notated.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
story.
Well, it's such a fun little kicky arrangement, and I think everybody who listens to the recording loves it. I mean, it's a foot tapper; you can't resist it. And we're lucky enough to have Sam Morgan as our musical director in the Outrageous 8. Sam,
Hey,
thank
Sam.
you always for everything that you do. And there's some awesome tenor playing in that tune as well, and we're always happy. Sam. Part of the thing that is just part and parcel of our CD release party is that it is virtual. And of course, the reason that it is virtual is because we have been shut down as of a couple of days ago, which would be November 30th, I think, right, you guys? We actually had a live concert planned for this coming Saturday, and of course, we're not able to do that. Sam, give me a feel for how it's been for a professional musician to have gone through this experience of being shut down and all the kind of venues closing, and how has that been? I know a lot of people don't really have a sense of how that's been.
I mean, it's tough to say. It's different for everybody, and everybody has a different, access to, the scene in various, various shapes and forms. For me, I've found the biggest changes just in the social nature of it, the amount of people that you just see being out and playing and performing and rehearsing, especially rehearsing. You don't realize how much of the social interaction that you get especially as a horn player comes from seeing people in rehearsal, and getting out and being able to be amongst people and playing music and the whole kind of kit and caboodle. But it's it's been rough for everybody. It's so much of our profession is about being together and being in the same space, and being close and sharing energy and sharing I think it's admirable the amount of work we've been able to do despite the circumstances. But it's it's definitely a different thing than all of us are used to.
Yeah. I mean, it's been such a weird time because as a band, we kind of like in the last year and a half or something, we had, started rehearsing at the union, at the local. And so we kind of have a routine. And I think a lot of people in the band play in, I don't know, on average, probably another 10 bands aside from this one, just as an average, maybe, between 5 and 10, depending. And all of that just suddenly stopped. And we have kept Zooming basically during the entire time, more or less. Our Wednesday rehearsals turned into a Zoom. And that's partly how we were able to plan out kind of what we wanted to do. And people kind of wonder, like, how did you put a record together during a global pandemic? And and basically, I approached Al and Harry and said, we have a bunch of great Christmas tunes I think that we should record. And they agreed to produce it with Michael and I, and Michael agreed to do the recording part of it. And we just at the first part of it, hey, Harry and Al, did we start talking about this prior to March? I think we did, didn't we? Do you guys remember?
I can't remember. But
Yeah,
it was,
I think we
quite
did. 'Cause
early.
we were-
yeah, I think it was before the pandemic shutdown.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we had to find workarounds for for getting it done, because we would have expected to go on rehearsing at the union. Maybe, I guess you can't record there unless you.
Yeah. No, I think we were looking for studios. Remember, Al, you called your
Yes.
friend who had a studio, and Paul, we talked to one of your friends and talking about studio space, and we were all in the process of putting this together as a studio album. But instead, we got to do SEAL Team 8, as Paul Littall calls it, which was basically fighting off the green bugs at 9 o'clock at night as they were attacking the music. They love the lights and the music. Little did we know. But basically, we did 14 tunes in 2 nights. Sometimes 2 takes, sometimes 1.
And the harmonies were a lot denser with those bugs on the pages. Right. I mean,
Exactly.
Rocky, you had some beautiful chords.
Exactly. Thanks to the bugs.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
What?
Rocky.
I just said, yeah, there were with the extra, the bugs added the extra notes, so we had a lot of clusters.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I love that. Yep. So it was an interesting process trying to do this. And then, of course, we had to figure out how to mix, how to listen to the tracks in our own homes. One of the interesting parts of it was that Harry and Al and Michael and I were all listening on different speaker systems. And so, some of us would hear like the bass in one way, and then the high end would sound different on a different setup. So finally we had to, once it was opened up a little bit, we had to listen in the same room just so we were listening to the same thing. It's one of the complicated things you would never really consider if you were trying to make something or mix some music without a pandemic present as a part of it. but we did get it done, and I thank everyone who's here for sticking with it. And I'm so happy that we actually got the whole thing done. And this Saturday, is the day we're gonna release this CD. It'll be available for download or to be bought in, old school CD form. And it'll be on our website, which is AngelaMayO'Neill.com. And so we are just really happy. And I think all of us, this is like a culmination of this very bizarre year musically. And like Sam was saying, like, it's one of those odd things that basically we've been kind of just rehearsing together with, no other bands rehearsing or any of that. So it's like we've been practicing / playing together for the last couple months. And I've been really grateful the whole time that we've been able to do that. And again, Al Timms gave us the rehearsal space. So without that, we would have had nothing. One of the things that's thank you, Al Timms. Thank you for all you do. Thanks for singing a great version of Blue Christmas. Thanks for just generally being a bon vivant, as we say. Oh, mon chéri. One of the things that we really love in this band is the performances that we do, because we actually perform live more than we record, which is interesting. But we've kind of been a live band now. Sadly, two of the places that we used to perform actually went out of business in the last 6 months.
Not because of us.
Not because of us, Harry.
It's because we couldn't play there. They lost all their customer base.
Oh, I hope that's not true. But one of the things that we love to do is kind of have like what we like to call a variety show. So we do some instrumentals, we do some vocals, we do duets, we do trios, trio vocals. We do a little bit of everything. And one of the things that we are always so happy and lucky to have is our friend Judy Barrett. And Judy is with us tonight. Yay! I approached Judy a couple weeks ago when we were putting together the live show, and I asked her if there was any spoken word piece that she had thought about over the years that had something to do about holidays or about this time of year. And Judy, what did you tell me? Because I remember it was a really good story, but this piece has been around with you for a while.
Yeah, I don't usually write stuff about the holidays, but I started writing this piece. It just a memory popped up, and and then when you asked me to do something for that show, I thought, well, maybe I could just finish that and bring it with me. So that's what I did.
Yeah, I mean, I read the one that you emailed to me, and I don't think you might not have even been done with it by the time I read it, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. It's just such a beautiful piece. And Judy has been a part of so many of our shows now. Judy, we're just so grateful that you come to the shows and do such beautiful spoken word pieces. It's great to have all the music and then to have something as special as your original pieces and be a part of our performance is really quite amazing. I think everybody in the band loves it. It's so funny because Judy comes and does a poem and the band claps. We all love the stuff you do, and we feel so thankful that you come and play with us. Would you mind reading your piece for us?
Yeah, hold on a sec, let me find it.
Okay. So yeah, I met Judy, I think maybe at the Gardenia, which is a cabaret.
Yeah, definitely at the Gardenia.
Yeah, an amazing cabaret place here in Los Angeles on Sunset Boulevard. No, on Santa Monica Boulevard. Sorry, I haven't been there in so long. And the band, we crammed this entire band into that tiny little place and play there. We've had some really good shows there. But we were lucky enough to meet Judy there, and we've kind of taken our act on the road from the Gardenia. Judy, are you ready to start?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready right now. So this piece is called Christmas Eve Memories. And as I said, I started writing it a couple of years ago. So here we go. Christmas Eve, Los Angeles, California. There's an unusually harsh wind and chill in the air, which reminds me of a Christmas Eve as a small child in New York, going home from Grandma's house. Everything so covered with snow. No cars moved on the road, the streets so quiet you could almost hear the snowfall, if not for the wind which whistled through the boughs of trees along the parkway. Shadows of swaying branches danced alongside us as exhausted Mom and Dad trudged alongside us for 3 miles to home, pulling the wooden sled which carried my sister and I wrapped in blankets. After a while, Dad insisted Mom join us on the sled, and he, in his rubber galoshes and brown furry coat and hat, struggled on his own to pull us home. A little later, my sister and I took turns helping him pull. At least we thought we helped, for a few minutes at a time. When finally Dad had to stop for a few moments to rest, we insisted he sit on the sled and we would pull him. He argued, aware of the impossibility of our plight, but realizing its importance to us, reluctantly gave in. Oh, how we grunted and groaned and strained with all our might, my sister and I, to pull that sled, until we broke down in tears of defeat. Dad and Mom hugged us tightly and told us how we'd helped Dad to rest, and then made us laugh, and Dad was more determined than ever to get us home. Now, on this windy, chilly California Christmas Eve, there is no snow, but a picturesque carpet of red, gold, and brown fallen leaves, slightly wet from the sprinklers on the lawns we pass. And as we walk, my grown daughter and I, she takes my arm so I don't slip, just as I took hers and her brother's when they were toddlers, and as my parents took my sister's and mine. And I blink back tears of joy as I think about the inherent power of love that just gives and gives and gives.
Oh, that's very nice, Judy.
Thank you.
That's so beautiful, Judy Barrett. That is a premiere of that piece. That piece has never been seen in public before. We are so happy, pleased, flattered to have a brand new piece on our virtual CD release party. Thank you so much, Judy. That was just so beautiful and touching. And it is so much about family this time of year. It's just amazing. So it's really touching, that part about your daughter and you, because it's a lot about that at the holidays, you know. And I'm sure that this year will be the same. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. I kind of wanted to I was going to talk to Phil. Oh, Phil, you're still there. Phil, how is this? Oh my gosh, look at Rich, you guys. Yay.
Yay!
Yay. Thank you so much, Rich.
Oh man, my computer.
Did your computer crash?
It completely crashed, and the screen went blue, and
Oh no.
most of the text said dump. And
Oh.
it was really bad. I couldn't start it up, so I had to open everything up and expose the wires, and but I got it back. I bought it
Well,
back.
we are currently recording. And this is our little CD release party, just so you know. Don't say
Watch your
anything.
language.
Don't say anything nasty. And we were just about to talk to Phil. Phil, how is tell us a little bit about how it's gone for you since March. It seems like you have never been busier.
It's strange. Everything got flipped upside down in March. And as far as personally, I have 2 kids, young ones. And I had to make some decisions. I was not going to put them at risk, so I decided to just switch to 100% online teaching. And it turns out that was the only game in town, and still is. We thought, back in the Tiger King days,
right?
Earlier in
That's
the year,
right. Tiger King was the kickoff for COVID.
Let's eat some junk food and watch Tiger King for a week, and it'll be done. It's
That's
still
right.
not done.
It's gonna be great. The end of April, we'll all be back to normal.
Like
right. We were all thinking that. I remember you wanted to have a rehearsal, and I talked to you. I was like, it probably doesn't look good, and we wound up not having it.
Yeah.
And so I mean, yes, everything has changed for me, and I'm not the only one who thinks that, who's experienced that, but I thought I was just gonna pack up the bases and just rehearse and just teach online. But credit to you, Angela, for kicking us in the pants and getting us to rehearsals and Zoom meetings. And I haven't been the most agreeable with the Zoom meetings, but here I am.
I know. Here you are. Exactly.
And
Yes.
I gotta say, I really appreciate you, Angela, for getting this album happening despite a global pandemic. That's incredible. It's always an honor.
It's been a group effort, truly. It's not just me. Everybody pitched in. Everybody pushed the rock up the hill. Without everybody showing up to rehearse for this album, which we did have 2 rehearsals, I can't remember which. Everybody showed up all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just amazing. It's just
Well,
amazing.
it's not like we had other things going on, but
Well,
all the same, it's been a real honor to play with this group. And right now, this is the thing I'm doing as far as shows and music and rehearsals, and it's been great. The album sounds awesome. Michael did an incredible job recording it.
Yeah,
And,
thank you, Michael Rosen.
it's great. And in a typical year, I don't play on a Christmas album. I got to play on 2 this year, strangely enough.
Oh,
And this is an incredible experience being able to do this despite the situation. So I feel very fortunate, very blessed.
yes, that's a great word. Michael Rosen, I see you buried behind there, but the truth of the matter is that no one believes. Thank you, Phil, for telling us about that. No one believes that this was recorded in somebody's backyard. They listen to one track and they think it's a studio album, and they cannot believe the quality of the recording, the sound of the mics that you use, just all of what you did was really incredible. So my hat is off to you. We could basically have not done anything like this without you. So I know we all really appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad you asked me.
Well, and plus he plays drums in the band, so amazing. A man for all seasons. And Paul Litteral, we are so lucky to have such an amazing trumpet player in the band. And you know, our sound is very much defined by each individual player in an octet. You know, a lot of people don't realize that if you're in a bigger band, like a big band, it's a whole different thing. When you're in an octet, each individual piece is really revealed, and a lot of subs who come and play with the band are like, wow, you can really hear every note. And so Paul, how has this been for you since March, and can you tell us a little bit what the experience has been like for you?
Unmute yourself if you're talking.
When all the
Yes.
When the pandemic hit, like Sam iterated, all the stuff stopped at the union that we were doing, and it was quiet for a minute. Although you kept things going with like some Zoom recordings, but then I picked up actually some session work that's been going on since basically June, and was able to. I started out doing it alone, but then I was able to pull Sam in. And in fact, Michael's the first one that introduced me to the guy, and then I got to just keep going with this guy for a while and doing that. And then just about 2.5 weeks ago, another guy that I'd recorded with a year earlier and did a record for him. He lives in Hawaii, just came back and he started up again. So I've been doing a couple of sessions, 1 session, maybe some months, 3 sessions a month. And so it's been okay for me. And
I think people are really curious how it's been for musicians. And I know just in my group of friends on Facebook and stuff like that, like I can think of 10 musicians who have basically moved out of town. Like couldn't, you know what I mean? It's been really, really hard for musicians to survive in this period. Just really hard to earn a living, hard to keep it together.
Sure.
Yeah. It's been, thank God. I know you were telling me the other day that the way that you guys record is that it's an isolated cubicle you kind of go into, you enter from the outside.
Right.
And
I
you
go
can
into the
record.
tracking room alone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to be so inventive to make any kind of musical thing work in this era. It's really amazing. So Paul, thank you for everything you do with the Outrageous 8, and thank you for your amazing playing and your heart that you bring to everything in this group, and just thank you for all of that.
Well, I really enjoy this group a lot, and it's very special. I love the arrangements from Harry and Rocky, and it's, even though some things are very challenging, I really enjoy the musicality of this band and all the nuances that each individual brings to it. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy to be in the band.
Yeah, it's weird how we've kind of gone through it during this time. It's everybody struggling to kind of survive has bonded the band in a kind of new way, which is amazing. And Ron, I know it's been different for you. Your life changed just like all of us, thanks to March happening. How has it been in your household? I know you guys have been very shut down because you know, your father-in-law lives with you and some health concerns and stuff like that. How has it been at your house?
It's been kind of scary, mostly because because of the unknown. You don't know what is good and what will happen. If we could see COVID, if it was purple coming out of your mouth,
Yeah.
then it would be perfect. We know what to avoid, but that's not the case. So we just have to be very, very careful. And we don't know if we're going over to the other side deeply and trying to avoid contact, but so far it's worked, I think.
Yeah. Well, we're really glad that you've stayed with us, and we're glad that your household has been safe, knock on wood, and we love having you play in the band. You bring so much beautiful playing, playing soprano and playing clarinet and playing alto. We're so lucky to have you in the band. Thank you for everything that you do. Ron is also the librarian and keeps track of our music and stuff, which is like so incredibly crucial to any band experience. And Al Timms, I just want to check in with you. I know that the COVID experience has been one where it's a lot of stuff. Al Timms is in quite a few groups, some theater groups, and he puts on a lot of shows and stuff like that. What has happened with your other shows and stuff like that, Al?
The other shows have stopped basically. We're waiting. The Dewdrops, which is a ensemble for Motown and doo-wop, we haven't been together ever since I think it was about February or so. So the Outrageous8 is the only thing I'm doing, which is great.
Yeah. Well, we're lucky to have you. We love your singing. Al is also like a gadget guy. He's always figuring out, new ways to do the cordless mics in a new fabulous way, or Amazon is very busy at his house. I'll just say that. Yeah. So we're very lucky to have him because he really kind of designs our live sound, and Al, we're very grateful to you for all that you do. Al's Pizza Kitchen and Screen Door Repair area is where we have our cul-de-sac concerts. I mean, just it's turned into the Outrageous8 bunkhouse. So we're so grateful to you for that. Rich Walker, thank you so much for getting back online with us. I want to make sure that everybody in the band got a chance to kind of talk a little bit about how this experience has been, because it is just amazing that we were, all of us, able to put together a Christmas CD kind of during this period against all odds. How has this time been for you and your family, Anna? And I know your business has kind of survived okay, but was a little slow during the middle of the COVID time. I think you have to unmute yourself, Rich. There we go.
Here we go.
Motherboard.
So the strange thing is we have been busier than we've ever been with our business, and it's like one deadline after another. And I was a little bit worried about our computer because I have a deadline on Tuesday and I'm just barely treading water.
Oh.
So business has been good. Anna's good. My dog Giselle Le French dog is doing very good. That's my accent.
It's fantastic.
I gotta say, it's like we seem to be the only game in town that's like excelling during this. Our band, the Outrageous8, under your leadership, we're doing stuff like, you see people doing little stuff here and there, but we are overcoming the odds and doing different things with our quarantine recordings and, overcoming logistics. And it's actually, once you overcome those kind of hurdles, it's been a lot of fun. And
yeah, I feel like we've been really lucky, really, really lucky. And the videos were all, of course, produced by Michael Rosen.
yeah,
And the audio tracks were mixed by Michael Rosen. Just you're an absolute gold mine of talent, Mr. Rosen, as I mentioned earlier.
More. And he plays a smoking harmonica.
He does play a smoking harmonica, which he just exactly. That's important to point out.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying, it's just been such a pleasure playing with everybody. I really had to step up my game, and God, just listening to that the Christmas album recording, I'm really proud of that stuff. Everybody sounds so good. Beautiful solos, nice. Who would have known it was recorded in the backyard, like in 100-degree July weather? It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's totally amazing. And it's really, like I said before, I think before you came back on, it's because everybody does it, everybody pushes the rock up the hill together. And so thank you, Rich. I think it's been amazing always having you. One of the things that's unusual about this octet is octets often have 2 trumpets and 2 saxes. And we actually have a bari sax instead of having the second trumpet. Sorry, Paul. It would be nice to have a second trumpet. When we're the nonet, we'll add it. And we love having
those charts.
What's that, Harry?
We'd have to rewrite all the charts.
Oh God, no. Okay, never mind. But it's so amazing having that bottom, that bari sound. It always, and Harry, you write such amazing charts that I think really some of those instrumentals, like that we've done recently, really show off that sound.
Yeah. Harry likes the bari.
Harry likes the bari, exactly.
Rich sounds good. So.
Oh, thanks, Harry. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I know you always like the bari, and I have to step up to play those parts, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy playing with you guys.
Yeah, I think we all do. We're lucky to have each other. That's how I feel. And so I'm not going to keep the people for very much longer since we are recording this. You guys, we just want to say thank you so much. Look, there's the CD. Michael is making the CDs.
I'd like to hear from Rocky.
There's the very first one.
I was going to say the next tune that's actually going to come after this Zoom is recorded is a tune called The Christmas Song that everybody knows. And I was going to say, Rocky, I know it's been the same thing for everybody. It's been interesting in your household during the COVID. And then, of course, you were the arranger of the Christmas song, and there's a great story behind that, too. But first of all, how has it been at your house since March, more or less?
It's been, I don't even know how to say it, a lot of jigsaw puzzles.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I don't know. It's been mostly people here or going to the store and coming home. And but not too bad, actually,
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
I know.
That doesn't sound terrible.
It's been amazing. From the time we did the For All We Know, that we right after the shutdown started, we said, well, let's try that.
Yeah.
And then I've been part of a couple of such other pieces with Outrageous8, and I've been also playing with this Skip Spyro Jazz Blues project, and every one of them has only been possible in a way because I sort of learned what we'd have to do from our first project. And so I make a track and I give it to, and then it gets exported and all of the parts. And I don't know how anybody else does it any other way, but so.
Well, they don't.
I guess not. I guess that is really good.
Yeah. It's been amazing. Yeah, for your arrangement for All We Know is really amazing, Rocky, and we love the stuff that you bring to the band. there's a couple other brand new ones that the people haven't heard yet that we're really looking forward to developing over the course of time here. And, you know, maybe we'll be doing another quarantine and, you know, I guess whatever we have to do. But as we were recording, actually rehearsing to record this Christmas album, we all took out our version of and I won't say who the arranger is, just so I don't offend anyone, but it's an older arrangement that's kind of a standard arrangement, and frankly, everyone in the band is incredibly sick of it, including me. It's a pretty arrangement. It's kind of a takedown of the original. But we got a few when we pulled it out. It's like, oh, this old thing. And
what
and I said,
are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Christmas song.
Oh, okay.
And so we all kind of went around the room and said, well, what do we do? I said, I'm not against, you know, doing a new arrangement of this before we record. And Rocky, what did you say?
I think I said, I have done one and I could probably adapt it for us, because it was a thing I had done lots of years earlier that was played on solid gold, but it wasn't for a band. It was recorded with a rhythm section basically only. And the vocal was by Roberta Flack, which was cool. But I'm super happy with the way it came out and how you sound on it and how everybody sounds on it. Everything, and it was really amazing to bring it in at our recording session, where let's run through it. You know, okay, we're into. How about if we record it now? Okay, and it just came out incredibly well right then. That's great.
It's, you know, it's peculiar when you when you tell people a story like that, they probably think that we're fibbing, because it just doesn't sound right. So on the Wednesday we're rehearsing and we turn to you and you say, you know, I got the bones of something. You come in Friday. I think we start at 5 on that Friday or something like that earlier. So we would be able to have time to record enough stuff. And you handed it out and we literally started to run it down. And Michael said, let's record it the first time we play it, because you don't play anything ever that you don't. He was going to get levels and things like that. And I believe that the one that is basically used on the album was that very first time we sight read that chart. And I sight read the vocal. I mean, you know, it's a Christmas song, but pretty much we were sight reading. So, and it was so beautiful, Rocky, and just the chords and the harmonies and everything is just so amazing. So Catherine Hopkins, who is our marketing manager, has cut together a video. The band has actually seen it. I sent it to everybody. And it's just a beautiful arrangement of images and things that kind of go along with what I feel like is the message of that song. And I guess what I would like to say, and I'm sure the band kind of backs me up on this, is we hope that everybody has very happy holidays. And everything, all the richness and the love that you can have with however many people you gather with, or if it is just a time of rest and respite for you, we hope that is amazing, if that's what you want and that's how it comes down. It's a new time, you know, and we all have to support each other and try as hard as we can to keep the love going, because it's sometimes really hard. But we really, you know, it's an amazing group of people I see in front of me here on this Zoom. And I want to wish everybody a very, very happy holiday season, whatever you end up doing to celebrate this time. Of course, I hope you buy our CD, because it really sounds great. But also just a genuine message to people to just, we hope you really enjoy your holidays. And with that, I would love to cut to our little video fun that Catherine Hopkins put together for the Christmas song. Thank you, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Okay.
Happy holidays.
Judy Barrett. Thanks, Judy. Great stuff. Well, even though here in Southern California, our weather is pretty darn temperate, it does get a little bit cooler this time of year. And so, here is an appropriate song of the season. The snow is snowing, the wind is blowing, but I will weather the storm while may storm. I've got my love to keep me warm. I can't remember a worse December. Just watch those icicles form. What'll I care if icicles form? I've got my love to keep me warm. Off with my overcoat, off with my gloves. I need no overcoat. I'm burning not with COVID, but with love. My heart's on fire. The flames grow higher, but I will weather the storm. What'll I care if icicles form? I've got my love. I've got my love. I've got my love to keep me warm. Well, up next we have another special offering from the new CD, Home for the Holidays. And by the way, you might be wondering how you can actually order that CD. Well, I suggest you start by looking at Angela O'Neill's website, and it's AngelaMayO'Neill.com. That's Angela, she spells May, M-A-E, and then O'Neill is O-N-E-I-L-L, AngelaMayO'Neill.com. And you'll find more information about the new CD from Angela O'Neill and the Outrageous 8, Home for the Holidays. Well, our next tune that comes to us from the new CD features Angela on vocals, and it's embedded into a beautiful, beautiful video prepared by Catherine Hopkins. And it's a special song because it was written right here in Southern California by two guys who wanted to cool off on a hot summer's day back in the days before air conditioning was widespread. Mel Torme and Robert Wells, The Christmas Song.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. so I'm offering this simple phrase for kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
Well, that just about wraps up our show for today. Thank you for joining us. And also thank you to the Outrageous 8, Sam Morgan, Ron Sager, Richard Walker, Paul Litteral, Harry Smollenberg, Rocky Davis, who did the arrangement on that last one we just heard. Al Timms, wonderful vocalist, who's on the CD, along with Jackie Gibson, wonderful singer. And thank you, of course, to Angela O'Neill for allowing me to pop my head in, sing a couple of tunes, and be your master of ceremonies. Until next time, this is Bill A. Jones leaving you with 4 words. Thank you, and happy holidays.